prosthetics in the legs. Eythor is a pioneer in robotics, and specifically the intersection of robotics and medicine. So he's actually been part of the founding team of 3 companies that have gone public around this. And when Eythor is not working, he is trying to heliski, which is nearly impossible because he's also chasing around 5-year-old twins. And so we all know what his life is. He's just basically keeping everyone alive and falling off things. So anyway, welcome Eythor Bender.
Hi, so I want to be here. Amazing presentations and so much going on in this field. I'm going to talk here today about UNYQ, and but let's start a little bit with kind of the background, how we got to this. My field of expertise, or I've had the privilege of working with many teams around the world in this field of, some people call it bionics or robotics, prosthetics, orthotics, taking people running into the Olympic Games, and exoskeletons on stage of TED, and that help people to walk out of wheelchairs, and robotic limbs that are now today reimbursed by Medicare. And these exoskeletons, by the way, are now FDA approved, and also orthotic devices for osteoarthritis and so on. So it's been a really fun and inspiring journey, but there's still a lot to be done. We are not quite done, finished here, and this is the challenge. There's a lot of people out there that need assistive devices for various reasons. This is just the numbers from US in millions. Osteoarthritis, ACL injuries, scoliosis, and so on. And although you saw with paralyzed people, we're getting them to walk, it's still very expensive and it's still very cumbersome. So I'd like to kind of take us now specifically into prosthetics, and we are embarking here on a new journey, and we are starting with that in prosthetics, which will then expand into other fields. And we look at a little bit at prosthetics in particular. It's been amazing advancements, going all the way from very primitive solutions over to actually became quite a craftsmanship here 100 years ago. Amazing work being done with wood and metal, and now they look more like sticks, but this is more like it was in the good old days. And we saw some amazing work with different types of materials, and but this kind of disappeared in the World War I and World War II, where suddenly we had a lot of amputees. And we had to become very efficient at what we are doing, and so we created modular systems that helped us to make a lot of legs. But they were actually more like sticks, very industrial looking. Evolution has taken place. I mean, a lot of exciting materials, carbon fiber, silicone, and so on. And lately, electronics, sensors, batteries, motors, and so on have taken over, and this is pretty much what you get today. It's bionic legs, electronic, but they're still very industrial. And in many ways, yes, we are not making wooden sticks anymore. No, we are actually making bionic sticks. They look more like sticks and not really like real legs. And people try various methods to make it look really real-like, and it's usually a really sad result, and it's not very giving even for the people who work on it. As you can see here, this is kind of the typical way of creating cosmetic covers. And if you look at the psychological impact, it's interesting that there have been done lately now. We are looking more and more into this area. There are studies being made about the psychological impact of look, where you wear something like this, like a leg, artificial leg, or also how satisfied people are with that. And of course, there is a correlation between just self-image, depression, and so on that comes with losing a leg, and the look of it. So, and then that leads to all kind of other complications and cost for the insurance companies as well. And then satisfaction. I mean, here we are looking at 64% of all amputees pretty much not being happy with what they wear or kind of neutral about it. And how sad is that? Because it's something that you wear for the rest of your life. I mean, this is not something temporary. This is actually something that you have to wear, like eyewear. And talking about eyewear and other medical devices and what has been achieved in those fields, I mean, yes, you go out and you pick a nice glasses and that's what you wear. It's individual and stylish, and even hearing devices. You can get them really nice and obviously custom-made, 3D printed, and 95% actually of hearing devices are 3D printed today. And the experience is just the consumer experience. Warburg Parker is a great example of that. And this is all taken for granted today, but certainly not in prosthetics. But we like to change that, and here we go. So that brings me to UNYQ. UNYQ is a company that is, it's not an experiment. It's a real deal here, where we are all about the fact that we are all unique, and we are taking basically sticks, whether they are bionic sticks or something less complicated, and making them look good. And we are a team that is situated in San Francisco and in Spain. We have designers, most of our designers sit in Spain and in Seville, and very happy to have job there, the 36% unemployment. And so we have created a really nice studio there, and then we have one here as well in San Francisco. We print everything in Seville. So let's talk a little bit about our process. So this is the way it's done today, pretty much around the world. I mean, as I said before, and most of these clinicians, they're master degrees. I mean, they're highly educated. Think about it, having to do a work like this. This is a user. Actually, if you can get the sound up. Can you please turn up the sound?
There's no.
Maybe. Yeah. What he basically said was that the experience for users is that they just go to clinics and they just pretty much get what the prosthetist recommends them. That is pretty much how it is. And that's the experience. There's no choice. There is nothing like an online experience where you browse through different legs or whatever. So we like to change that. And so we introduced a process which really starts with design and leads you all the way into 3D printed legs. And I will take this step by step. So the way it starts, it really starts with design. It starts with some creativity. People have a chance, they go online, or they can go to a clinic. This is the online experience. They go to our website, and there they can choose between all kinds of different legs. And this is just a few of them. And we rank them whether it's men, women, kids. And so it's certainly exciting. They can see the prices, which they're very surprised usually about. And they are affordable. We also offer this through clinics around the world. So people can go into 200 clinics momentarily. We will probably be to about 1,000 clinics all around the world where people can go. And the idea is then eventually to have printers there as well. So people can even get shipping costs and escape custom that way. So in those clinics, they find catalogs, just like you shop for clothes or whatever. And we have demo samples that they can look at and feel and see. And I will show you a little bit afterwards how it is live. They can expect that these legs are symmetrical. So they're absolutely in the same shape as the sound leg. Sometimes they get quite shocked when they see actually how big it is. But but it's completely symmetrical. And obviously we have a lot of different shapes of legs. What people are very adamant about, they want it to be snug, obviously, under pants and so on, like you see here on the right side. And so before it all kind of bulked in a little bit, because when you just have a stick, it doesn't look like you have anything under your pants. And it's also kind of weird. And we can work with pretty much any legs out there. And so the way it works, it is photogrammetry. We work here with Autodesk, simply using photos, normal cameras, 8 photos, 7 measurements if you're above knee amputee, and normal cameras, tape measurement, pen, and then we use uploading software to upload the pictures. We then take the pictures and then put it into 1 to 3D CADs from Autodesk, and or Memento also in the future. We're working on that. So the way it works is these are the 4 photos. They take off the sound leg because we wanted to mimic the sound leg. There are 4 photos taking off the prosthetic leg, and then there are these measurements that they take, and they can do this in their own homes. And they do it, or they go to the prosthetist, and the prosthetist does it. Prosthetic leg, 2 measurements here, so altogether 7 now. So with this information uploaded, we take it and we, like I said, upload it into Autodesk and work then on the file. And this is the team of Autodesk, which is collaborating with us on Memento and on the Memento project. This is Tatiana here sitting in I think Singapore, working with a team in Seville. And so we are continually working on improving this process, making it even more simple. And then we print it. And these are our printers. They are sitting in Seville. And so we currently have 6 printers. We are adding 10 more. And we cannot keep up with demand. I mean, we are way behind. And so people are excited. And then we move over to the painting process, packaging and shipping. And so this is how you see it look like. It's ABS material, and currently we are working on, it has currently screws attach it together, but we're working now on having magnets, so people can easily take it apart, put on different designs, and so on. And then it's the fitting and sharing, posting on Facebook and so on. This can be done in the practices of the clinics or in their homes. They can just, we send it to people's homes and they put it on, and so on. So that's the process, and the result is we have people now all around the world. The company started, actually, we are 1 year old this week, and we have already hundreds of people around the world that are walking around with it, even at New York Fashion Week in October last year. The first male amputee ever to step on the catwalk walked without fairing. So been a nice press about this in the fashion industry, because they think this is something interesting, and people telling their stories where they say, like Tarol here, I don't want it real. I want something special. He loves comic books, so he wanted the Iron Man look. Travis, I mean, he is an amputee. I don't know if you've seen the Microsoft ad with the amputee now on television. He's the one in that TV ad, and he had his repainted so it fits now his Hummer. He has a Hummer in the same color. So, and then James here, I mean, he was a little bit reluctant in the beginning, but he said, I can never go back again. And that's what we hear. There is no way back after you put it on. So he wanted something fancy. Diane here didn't want to hide it, and that's what we hear more and more. And here is Deborah on NPR.
Before that, I would just cover up and pretend I wasn't an amputee and didn't want anyone to know. And then I just wanted to show my leg off because it was just so amazing looking. So I think it's sort of therapy. It definitely was for me.
She's wearing here actually one from 3D Systems, but she is getting ours now. In 2 weeks, she's getting a new one. And Kelly, same thing. It's about stigma. You're changing stigma. People look at me in a positive way now. So, yeah, it's social awareness. It's advancements in 3D system, in 3D printing that are helping us here. Consumers are much more involved in healthcare, obviously, and so on. So I think I've kind of gone through this slide indirectly. What is nice about this is that it is covered by reimbursement by insurance companies. And it's been a struggle in the beginning because it's actually reimbursed because it's a protection. And in the beginning, these covers were expensive, so it really didn't matter. It used to cost $6,000. Now we are down to $495. Medicare covers it between $695 and $1,100. So this is now covered, and covers are covered. And so next step for us is to expand further, to take covers over to orthotics and so on, because as I showed you before, the numbers are big and there's a lot of need out there for something better. Great example of that are these scoliosis braces that young women primarily need to wear for years when they are 16, 17, 18 years old. And the idea is to change that into something much more snug, better looking, and fitting. So with that said, I'd like to bring on stage here Katherine Crawford, or Kat, and she is one of our spokespersons.
Hello. Welcome to the frontier. Give everybody a good gander.
And user. So thanks, Kat, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Can you maybe start by telling him a little bit your story?
I joined the United States military in 2008, and unfortunately, as a consolation prize, ta-da! I was honorably medically discharged in 2011, and when I was offered a prosthetic device, it was absolutely god-awful. Just like he said, it was like a metal stick. And when he gave it to me, he gave me this god-awful bondoed carbon fiber thing that had skin-colored paint on it. Didn't even match me. I felt awful wearing it. And then his next option was, here's a silicone sleeve that looks like fake skin. Looked worse than anything I'd ever seen. Even when this leg looked really bad when I still had it, it looked even worse than that. It was awful. It looked cumbersome, dirty, dingy, looked like I wouldn't be able to maintain it. And it felt like I was going to be hiding. That's not something I wanted to do. I was an amputee, I lost my leg, and I didn't want to go around pretending that that had never happened. Because it's like lying to yourself, And not only is that lying to yourself, you're lying to everybody else. That's not who I am now. And so for the longest time, I struggled. What am I going to do? And finally, UNYQ got a hold of me, and they said, hey, what would you do if you had something that you could wear, you could take on, take off over your prosthetic device? It would give you symmetry, it would make you feel whole again, but you wouldn't have to feel like you're hiding from anybody. And I was like, ding, 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 we have a winner. And I immediately jumped on board. I was so happy with it. And I can't tell you, I have 2 other fairings. I have one that is the carbon gold, and I have another one that looks like very carefully polished wood. And every single one of them, I wear them both with long pants and cover them. People hardly ever see them during the day. But I'll walk down the streets and people have no idea that I have this prosthetic device or this cover. And then they'll see me quickly fix it or tie my shoes, and they'll see that little hint of the design. And it's this really creative way of breaking the ice with people. So instead of getting those questions of, hey, what happened? Did that hurt? I get, that is a beautiful, wonderful thing. Is it a brace? Is it a sleeve? Is it a piece of jewelry? It's something that helps me feel more of a normal person and not as a disabled person. Because I feel like disabled is really a horrible statement to make. We all have differences, and just like the moniker, we're all unique. And we need to be represented as our own selves. We need to be individualized, and this company enables that. That's fantastic. I feel wonderful.
Thank you, Kat. Thanks so much. That's us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.